Welcome to a 5,000 point Warhammer Fantasy 8th edition battle between Chaos Legions and Undead Legions. And I'll go over my deployment. I'm using Chaos Legions. So here we have 20 Plaguebearers with full command, 3 Plague Drones, a Soulgrinder, that's a Chaos Lord on the disc. This Stonehorn model I'm using as Kholek Suneater. 29 Chaos Warriors with haberds and an Exalted hero in there. And a Bray Shaman behind them. A Great Unclean One level 4. This Manticore is a Chimera. This is 10 Trolls, Throgg and a Gorebull BSB. Skullcannon, which is actually a magma cannon model. Hellcannon, Mutalith Vortex Beast, and a Giant. So that's my army line there. And now we'll go over the Undead deployment.
Right, on the Undead Legion side, we've got 3 Necropolis Knights with Standard Bear Musician, 3 Vargheists. I think this is 40 Skeletons with light armour and shields, Black Coach, Spirit Host, Terrorgeist, Necrosphinx. This cool Nurgle model from Forge World, that's a Hero Titan. Behind there I've got my homemade Casket of Souls and a Necromancer just hiding at the back. 40 Ghouls, another Terrorgeist, 40, the most terrifying unit you've ever seen of 40 zombies. These Tomb Guard are actually Grave Guard. In that unit I've also got a White King, and I've got Isabella, who's a Vampire Lord, a Spirit Host, 23 Skeletons with Spears, 6 Chariots, and Bagash.
So Chaos Legion's got the first turn, and basically everyone just moved up, like so.
Typical Chaos fashion.
Yeah. I mean, the Warriors couldn't go the full distance because they had to pivot around this rock. Chaos Lord has flown up there. Kholek is in this position. Unfortunately, both Terrorgeists will be in range to scream at him. Yeah, so just all advance as much as they can. In my magic phase, it was 9 dice versus 6. I channeled 1, so it was an 8 on the Reign of Chaos table, which is the Dark Prince Thirsts. The only thing that happened as a result there was 1 Graveguard died. I tried to cast the Regeneration spell to give Kholek Suneater 5+ regen, but that was dispelled with all my opponent's dice, which then allowed me to cast Withering on this Vartergeist, the Vartergeist over there, giving that -3 toughness, so that is now toughness 3. Okay, it's the end of my shooting phase, and Chaos actually had kind of decent shooting phase potentially. Kholek cast his lightning at this Terrorgeist, which was toughness 3. On a 2+, that gives D6 strength 6 hits against it. I rolled a 1 for the number of hits and then a 1 to wound. So nothing there. Skullcannon shot at the nearby Terrorgeist and misfired and can't shoot this turn or next. And the Hellcannon also tried to shoot to that Terrorgeist and also misfired, narrowly avoiding death, but it now ate all its handlers, so it'll be making its rampage tests on Legion 4 unless my general, the Great Unclean One, is in range. So overall that is probably one of the worst shooting phases I've ever had, although it is Chaos.
And then Legion's turn 1 movement. Just brought the Vargheists up a little bit, and the Necropolis Knights. Skeletons haven't moved. Got a double team charge of the Necrosphinx and the Black Coach into the Soulgrinder. The 2 Terrorgeists are going to kill him in a minute. A few things just moved up. Zombies moved up a little bit. Graveguard moved forwards a little bit. Moved around here, but basically stayed pretty much where I am because most of the men on here can't kill any of these guys. So Undead Magic phase was simple and brief. I started off by trying to cast the spell's called Morkan. It's from Law of Undeath on this Terrorgeist. It would have meant that he could have made a normal move as if in the remaining move sub-phase, so the idea was to bring him over here somewhere. Jack dispelled that, just, using up almost all his dispel dice. So then I decided to be, well, not very nice really, for want of a better word, and summon, this is It looks like Arcan, but that's actually another Terrorgeist that I've summoned behind here. We put it on this base, which is about the right size. So I've now got 3 Terrorgeists all surrounding this man. So we're doing the Terrorgeist shooting phase, starting with this one. He's screaming at Kholek. So his leadership is 9.
9.
So this is the first roll. Anything more than 3 and he suffers a wound.
12, 18.
18. So he suffers 9 wounds.
Oh.
With no armour save.
Okay, well he's dead. He's got 8 wounds though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's pretty mental. So Kholek Suneater's dead in turn 1.
I just had this feeling that since I went from the worst shooting base ever, you're going to have the best one.
That's pretty mental. So right, Kholek Suneater's dead. Yeah, this guy. I don't think I really need to soften up the Soulgrinder. This guy's going to shoot at the Chimera. 8 plus 6. What's his regen say?
4 plus 3. It's an upgrade you can give it. So it takes 3 wounds. So
okay, we'll mark out my counters in a second.
Yeah.
And then the last one. Well, I have to shoot it at the Soulgrinder really to make sure I kill him. 9. He's probably not Legion 9 either.
He is. Oh, hang on. I think he's. No, he's out. Yeah, damn it. Look at that.
You're Legion 7. So that's 9 plus 6 is 15. Minus 7 is 8. He's having 8 wounds from him. He's got a 5 plus ward.
Just 5 plus ward, yeah. Okay. I think he's got like 6 wounds, so you're lucky to survive this.
Woo! 2 wounds. So in the only combat of this turn, so far the Black Coach has caused 1 wound on the Soulgrinder through its impact hits. The Soulgrinder used its Caught by the Iron Claw and the Necrosphinx, which exceeded. He needed 6s to wound though, but he got 1 wound through. The Necrosphinx has now attacked. It's hit 3 times, including with its heroic killing blow hit. So if this blue dice here is a 6, Jack could be in a lot of trouble. So I mean, this is a ward save, let's see what happens. No, it's not. So 2 wounds.
So 1 save, and then 5 plus ward. No.
Okay, so the final part of that combat was very simple. The Black Coat missed with all its attacks. So at the moment I've won by 2, but because the Nurgle is the Ascendant God, and that Soulgrinder's got a mark of Nurgle, it is simply unbreakable.
Right, so it's Chaos turn 2, end of my movement phase. Quite a lot of charges. So just from left to right, firstly I moved the Plaguebearers up. Super speedy Plaguebearers flanking unit there. Soulgrinder's obviously there. This Chaos Lord charged into flank of that Terrorgeist. Chimera charged into the flank of the other Terrorgeist, although it's only got 1 wound left. The Chaos Warriors just moved up as much as they could, and the Shaman. Trolls charged into the zombies, and my general was just come up behind them. And both the Giant and the Mutalith needed, I think it was
7
years, it was 13 inches to the chariots, and they both made it. And that's all my movement. Okay, so it's the end of Chaos turn 2 magic phase. First of all, I got Dark Prince Thirsts again, and it was a bit more.
The best one.
Yeah, it's only an 8, isn't it? The only unit affected was the Necropolis Knights.
And
but
here, yeah.
Oh yeah, so it did a wound to the Spirit Host. It did 8 wounds, didn't it? It got 16.
It did 8 wounds, yeah.
And then in my actual magic phase, I cast a couple of spells. What did I do? I got Miasma of Pestilence, just a normal spell, off on the Chimera, reducing the Terrorgeist initiative down to 2. Fleshy Abundance off on the Trolls, which my opponent tried to dispel but wasn't successful, so they now have a 3+ regen save at the moment. In my shooting phase, the Hellcannon tried to shoot at this unengaged Terrorgeist, but it just scattered away. End of Chaos combat phase. So starting over on the left flank, Plague Drones have killed quite a lot of the skeletons, and 1 wound in return. The Soulgrinder took, I think, 1 more wound. No, it didn't take any wounds. Certainly suffered 4, and it did a couple to the Necro Sphinx, which now only has 1 wound left due to crumble. Also caused 2 on the Black Coach due to crumble. The Chimera killed the Terrorgeist and overran into this one, but I'd already done the combat there. Chaos Lord just fluffed his attacks and only did a couple of wounds to that Terrorgeist altogether. but he hasn't taken any. The trolls evaporated those zombies and overran, stopping just short of the Graveguard. And then finally, on the right-hand flank, the Giant and the Mutalith all combined have killed a couple of chariots. The Giant's taken 3 wounds in return. And that's the end of the turn, so it's on to Undead turn 2 now.
We had a couple of charges. Yeah, we had these Vargeist charging in the side of the Plague Drones. We had this Spirit Host charging to the side of the Giant. And then this Terrorgeist moved up to scream the hell out of that guy. They all shuffled across a little bit. The Spirit Host moved to just block them because that's funny. So in the magic phase, Nagash started off by casting Kandarak. I thought he'd failed by 2 because he didn't get armour high enough. I had forgotten that I have a Hero Titan right here which adds D3 to his casting roll. And thankfully, I rolled a 6 for that, so he cast it, which made Jack use up his Dispel Scroll. Used my last 6 dice to cast Light of Death on this warrior unit. They didn't suffer any wounds, but then bounced to the now non-existent Bray Shaman, who suffered 3 wounds and he is now dead. I did that with Irresistible Force, but because it's an innate bound spell, don't suffer any effects. So in my shooting phase, I just have the 2 Terrorgeist to scream. This one screamed at the Chimera that was in combat with it. You can probably guess what's going to happen now. I got 4 wounds on it, got a 4+ regen, and he rolled 3 6s and a 2, so it died. This one then screamed the warriors and just killed 4. So we had quite an eventful Undead turn 2 combat phase. First of all, the Spirit Host and the Chariots managed to kill the Giant, which was pretty amazing. In fact, it was killed by the Chariots in the end. The Spirit Host managed to get 2 6s for its wounds to kill it. The Mutalith Vortex suffered 1 wound and ran away, but unfortunately it ran 12 and therefore wasn't caught. The next one was this Terrorgeist was easily killed by the Chaos Lord. Here, Soulgrinder didn't manage to cause any wounds against anyone and suffered 1 wound in return. The Vargeist really came up trumps, causing 2 wounds. Skeletons didn't suffer very many wounds, suffered 4 wounds, but they won combat. But again, they have demons with the mark of Nurgle, so they're unbreakable. And I think that's everything.
Chaos Legions turn 3, end of my movement phase, so I've moved the Plaguebearers up in their stealthy flanking role. No charges or anything over here, got no troops.
Chaos Lord.
Yeah, Chaos Lord has charged the Terrorgeist. He reformed after he killed the other Terrorgeist to face this one. Need to kill it really, though it is a free Terrorgeist. But these warriors just moved up full 8. The Mutalith rallied. My Great Unclean One made a charge into the Spirit Hosts, hoping to overrun towards the skeletons. Unfortunately, I will just miss the chariots. And these trolls made a charge into the flank of this Spirit Host, and they will hopefully be able to overrun into the Graveguard. And in the magic phase, it was 5 power dice versus 5 dispel dice. So I just 5 dice to Fleshy Abundance on the trolls, got the Irresistible Force, miscasted nothing to me, so I'm quite pleased to get that through on them. And in my shooting phase, the Hellcannon basically hit Nagash, it scattered but only 2 inches, and his base is so massive. He passed his ward save. Skullcannon also shot at him, hit wounded, he failed his ward, and I rolled 1 wound. So Nagash is down to 6 wounds. So we're getting there, In combat, I lost another Plague Drone and only killed 2 skeletons, so those Vargeist are really pulling their weight there. But obviously I just stick there. Do well here, the Soulgrinder gets the last wound off the Sphinx and then doesn't take any in return, so it's doing well. What else? The trolls obviously destroy the Spirit Host because the Gorebull's got the Sword of Battle and overrun into the Graveguard. And the Great Unclean One easily kills that Spirit Host and makes us overrun into the skeletons. So now we're on to Undead turn 3.
Okay, so in my Undead Legion movement phase, a couple of charges got off. Chariots got a charge on the Mutalith, and the Ghouls got a charge on the Soulgrinder. Just need one poisoned attack to get through. Come on, you can do it. And then Nagash just moved round, and those guys at the back just kind of shuffled along a little bit. I'm expecting everything over here to die. Well, maybe not then. So another relatively simple magic phase for Undead. I got 12 dice altogether. I've got 12 every turn so far, but I have made sure that happens.
Oh yeah.
So I cast Hellish Vigor and Van Hells on the Vargeist, because this thing needs to die. Healed Wounds back on Nagash and the Black Coach. Tried to cast Candorak, did it successfully, but Jack got the dispels he needed. Combat this is. So the Vargeist finished off the Plague Drone and these guys have all kind of reformed. The Ghouls managed to get the 1 wound required to kill the Soulgrinder. The Trolls just went to town on that Graveguard. They actually managed to kill every single Graveguard, including the White King, but I do still have my Vampire Lord back there. Great Unclean One just ploughed through a few skeletons, but there's several left. And the Chariots killed the Mutalith. Well, actually killed them by running it down, didn't it? They ran down the Mutalith and they're now here, which actually isn't too far away from this jackass. That should be fun.
So turn 4, my movement phase. Plaguebearers charged these Vargeists. The Warriors charged the Ghouls and didn't lose anyone to dangerous terrain. Hellcannon failed its rampage test and then rolled 3d6 and just about managed to get into the chariots. And over here, I've actually got these guys still in combat with the Vampire Lord, who's around there somewhere, and the Great Unclean One is still fighting those skeletons. Oh, and my Chaos Lord just flew forwards and just outside of Nagash's charge arc. In my magic phase, I tried to cast Flesh Abundance on the trolls on 3 dice and just failed to cast, ending the phase. And in the shooting phase, my cannon took aim at the Casket Souls. I got it, but it's toughness 10, so I failed to wound it. I think it's got 4+ ward anyway, but it's tough to wound. I should note that the only thing the cannon could really shoot at was the casket. I couldn't see any ground in front of Nagash. Otherwise, I obviously would have been shooting at him instead. We're doing the combat between the Plaguebearers and the Vargeists. Vargeists killed 4 Plaguebearers and I've attacked back with 9 attacks. And here is my my hit roll. Let's get the dice together. So 1 hit, which is poisoned. So in the end, yeah, basically the Vargeists just take a wound and I lose 4 in return like that. And in the rest of the combat, basically the Chaos Warriors are destroying the Ghouls. Lost 3 warriors, but there's only 12 Ghouls left now. Hellcannon killed 1 chariot and took 1 wound in return. Throgg killed the Vampire Lord in a challenge and took no wounds. Great Unclean One over here though. Let's get a better look at him. He actually lost combat. Now, it didn't affect him with his Nurgle demon, but yeah, he only killed 2 skeletons, and they had a banner rank musician. So he's disgracing himself a bit there, actually. Right, it's the end of my turn. On to Undead turn 4. Oh, a slight mistake there. These trolls couldn't actually reform because the Doom Gorebull is in them. So he's frenzied at the overrun d6 because of his blood greed. So instead of reforming, they're just now overrun towards the board edge there.
So, Undead, turn 4. The accomplish Knights, for some reason I thought I was going to need to charge in there and help those guys out. These guys have all moved around a little bit. Forgot to mention last turn that the Black Coach is now totally powered up, so he's like he can now fly and is ethereal. And he just moved around a little bit, so they're all kind of stuck there. So, Undead Legions magic phase. Nagash came up trumps this time. He cast... No, actually the Necromancer started first. He cast Hellish Vigor on the Vargeists, which means they reroll to wound. Nagash then cast Invocation, which healed the last wound on the Necropolis Knight over there, and brought another one back with 1 wound. Raised a few skeletons and a few more ghouls just to piss these guys off a little bit. Then he really did come up trumps. He really did. He summoned 6 chariots. These 2 corpse cards are standing in for Tomb King's chariots. Right here, ready to muller this guy. Combat phase. The chariots have done amazingly well. These may well contend for man of the match even if they die. Take 2 wounds off the Hellcannon. Hellcannon caused...
A couple in turn. It killed one chariot, didn't it?
Killed 1 chariot basically, but there was actually no crumble. The ghouls are almost all dead, but there are still 5 of them holding up these warriors, which is awesome. And over here, the Necropolis Knights and Vargeist killed another 6 Plaguebearers, which is awesome. Still no crumble from there either.
So Chaos turn 5 now, end of the movement phase. Not a lot to move really, neither of us have much left. So I charged the Skullcannon into the summoned chariots, otherwise I'm going to get charged. Trolls reformed, but they're probably not going to be able to do anything next turn, they're too far away. My Lord charged into the Casket of Souls. So at the start of my magic phase, and it was, what's it called? Khorne's Firestorm.
Khorne's Wrath.
Khorne's Wrath, which is like when you get a 9, I think. So the only 2 units affected were Nagash and the Lone Necromancer. Basically, it scatters like a ball of fire, I guess. It scatters like...
Brass skull.
A brass skull, okay, sorry. And it hit both of them, hit Nagash, failed his ward, and took 5 wounds. So he's got 2 left. And the Necromancer who was there failed his ward and died. So that's pretty devastating. I've had a lot of luck on these Reign of Chaos things. And now it's the end of my magic phase after casting no spells, because basically there was no point, I didn't want to risk miscasting. And I think the Reign of Chaos did more than enough damage for 1 magic phase. So no shooting, so on to combat. Okay, end of my turn 5. So the Skullcannon, it did pretty badly, it didn't do any wounds with impact hits, but it still did enough to win combat, kill a chariot, and took 1 wound, so it's still pretty good. Hellcannon finished off the chariot. Chariot got like 6 hits against it or something, but didn't do anything to it. The warriors disgraced themselves. They did kill all the ghouls, but there were 5 ghouls left, and they literally only just killed them and reformed. Lord easily killed the casket and didn't suffer anything from the spirits. And then over here, Plaguebearers are being whittled down. There's only 6 left now. They did kill a Vargeist, but they're probably going to die by the end of the battle. And that's the end of my turn.
Turn 5 undead movement. Nagash moved around to here. Hero type moved around there as well. Skeleton just got out of their charge arc. I mean, they're going to get massacred by all these guys, probably, but just didn't want them to get the joy of it. Black Coach moved over here. That's all the men I've got left. He's killed so many of my men. So magic phase is very simple. I cast Invocation, which just restored a few wounds around here, and then tried to get Van Hells off and didn't succeed. Combats, the chariots, in spite of their 18 attacks, didn't do a single wound, and suffered enough in return to lose a chariot. These guys really didn't do well. Really didn't do well. Disappointed in you guys. They caused 1 wound, suffered 3 in return, but thank God for this man. I say man. They haven't had any wounds for crumble.
Chaos turn 6, end of my movement phase. Chaos Warriors couldn't see anyone, so they just turned around to look at these terrified skeletons. I tried to charge the Necropolis Knight with my Chaos Lord, but he failed to charge. I tried a long charge with the trolls on the skeletons, but they also failed. So that's it. Just straight on to magic. Oh yeah, the Hellcannon failed its rampage again, and because it's got random movement, it made its charge into the flank of those chariots. But in my magic phase, again, because the spells have got quite short range and quite limited in what they can do, and nothing worth casting, or nothing that I can really even cast anyway. So nothing happens. Over here, just 1 Plaguebearer died, bit of a pillow fight, and they're now preparing for some Nagash love next turn. The only other combat over here was pretty devastating because of the Hellcannon charge and flank, and it leaves just 1 chariot left, although remember those are summoned chariots, so they're not worth anything. And the Black Coach is here ready to charge in the last turn, which we now move on to Undead turn 6.
So in my movement phase, 2 simple moves. Black Coach charged into the side of this guy, and Nagash and the Hero Titan just to make sure that I get the points for these Plaguebearers. Magic phase, all Nagash did was cast Invocation, got his 2 wounds back and Boar's back. Oh, down the Corpus Knight only have 1 wound actually. So the Corpus Knight actually only got 1 wound left, and that was it. I thought about casting something else, but the risk is just too high. I just don't want Nagash to get sucked into the realm of chaos by doing something stupid. So combat phase, Black Coach was quite disappointing really. Only caused 1 wound on there, and the combat ended up being a draw. Over here, yeah, well, it was expected really. Nagash, Hero Titan, Vargas, etc. Finished off those Plaguebearers without even having to do any stomps, so that's all done. So that's turn, that's game. Fairly clear, I think, that Chaos have won, but we will add the points because I've got a 1,000 point model over here that hasn't died, and this guy's quite expensive as well, so we'll see.
Okay, so that's the end of the battle, and we've totaled up the victory points. Undead Legions scored 2,100, but Chaos Legions scored 3,058, so just shy of a crushing victory there. And yeah, it was a really brutal battle. And there's my general do a little celebratory dance and sort of looking over at Nagash. For me, I think the trolls killing that big unit of Graveguard was pretty big. Because
I think the Necrosphinx not doing that well. It should have done better against the Soulgrinder.
Yeah, the Soulgrinder held up 2 powerful units. Although the Black Coach didn't end up doing much, but it held them up for a long time. Necrosphinx would have been good to hold up the Chaos Warriors. But if you think about that, that unit of Graveguard that was 550 on its own, and it had a 300-point Vampire Lord in it. It was nearly
140 point.
It was going on for 1,000 points, and they just pretty much just evaporated it. So that's for me the biggest thing of the battle. Chariots, well, the original unit of Chariots did quite well, but they didn't really, like you say, they got 1 charge off, I think.
Yeah, good sneak. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, they did kill a few things in the end, but yeah, it was a really long battle as well. I mean, 5,000 points is massive. But as always, a lot of fun playing 8th edition. So as opposed to
backhanded remark about everything, yeah.
as opposed to the game that shall not be named, although it just was. So yeah, that was a good day of Warhammer. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.